Hello and welcome back to the channel. This second video is about my mobile install and some further developments. If you haven't watched the first video, I'll put a link above. If you watch that video, you'll know what we're about, and at the end there'll be a link back to here so you won't miss out. So we're a good few weeks on now, heading towards Christmas. Here we've got the TS-B2000 in the boot as before, but eagle-eyed viewers might have noticed on the top of the car a few things have changed. Up there is the original mounting bracket that you can see that I made, and I've made a second one, a matching pair, and this one has got a VHF UHF diamond antenna on. This is the same as the other one. This is the NR770 HB, the black one, and if you recall I had the silver one. It was the black one I wanted. So what I've done, another coax run down the side of the car behind this panel, tucked in into the boot. This is a pre-made runner coax. It's 3 meters long, so down that side of the tray across to the rig. There's the original one from the other side. Now I did have the VHF on that side, but the VHF socket on the rig is there, which is fine. That was in there and I could alternate between the two, VHF and VHF. But on this side, that run, it was just a little bit too short. But then I decided to fit a duplexer, so a diplexer, duplexer. So this is a diamond duplexer for 2 and 70. So now I've got 2 meters plugged in, 77s plugged in, and they all share that one antenna mount on the left of the car. So I've got this one plugged in for HF, and you can see some ferrites on there that I just happen to have, which is good practice anyway, but I plugged them in after an on-air test, and that seemed to do the trick in terms of a small RF issue I had. Lots of wires, but still lots of space. I actually fill this space with car bits, and the TS-B2000 sits nice and snug there. I've just got a piece of wood there to stop it sliding backwards. That isn't blocking any of the vents, and I have to say it's worked really well on VHF. Been really pleased. So as before, I've just taped these coax entry points in. Might have to change that every few months. Similarly, this coax here, which just goes along the roof to the antenna. If that has to be changed every few months, then that's no big issue really. As before, I've left that on show, so when you're loading things in and out of the boot, there's a visual reminder that there's something to avoid catching on there. So that's the back end of the setup, and I've made some developments at the front end, which I'll show you now. And a quick PS, that's the boot tray in place. So all very neat. All you can see are the wires for the battery, and as I said before, there's a Life Pro 4 battery that sits in that corner when I know I'm going to use the radio, and I can tether it to those 2 points there. So all very neat, and there's the coax entry points. So here we are at the sharp end, and this is what the install looks like when it's not being used in the front of the car. So there's the head unit lead. It just neatly hides away in the vent, and the wires are all hidden. And if you remember before, I was thinking about a little bracket there. Well, a little piece of bracket was too flimsy. I've tried Velcro, wasn't happy with that. So what I've done, if you can see here, I've made a new bracket that fits it in, and I can either unclip that or not. What I'm doing at the moment, and I've taped the bottom piece, I'm leaving that in place, and basically that just neatly pushes down that gap there, and the head unit sits there. So I'm doing this one-handed, so it looks a bit messy. So basically plug the lead in, put the head unit there, and we're away. What I've also done, I've got rid of the hand mic. I've installed down here a PTT switch, so when I'm driving along, that's in a nice comfy position. I made a bracket on defenders. There's, I don't know if you can see here, there's lots of exposed screws. That's part of the design. You can see along that door there. There was just enough thread on that screw, on these screws, to add a bracket. I had to countersink this piece of aluminium quite severely to give the screw enough thread to bite. So, piece of aluminium taped in black. I've stuck this this automotive switch on. Unfortunately, as you can see, that I wrapped that the wrong way around. I should have wrapped it top down, and you wouldn't see all those spirals. So that's a PTT switch, which works really well. I've got a clip-on mic, which I'm using currently on the phone, so you can't see it. That clips into there, and that's all hidden away under there. The speaker, if you remember, I had loose on the back seat. That's now, if I can get this down here, you'll see. So I've got the speaker under here and all the wires. So in here I've also got as well as an adapter for the mic, and that clips onto my my shirt while I'm driving. I've also got an adapter for cat control, which I'll just dig out now and show you. Right, so I've pulled the wiring back out. This is all normally hidden under there behind that speaker. So there's the mic lead that goes to the boot and the rig. This is an 8-pin adapter, which I would change with a bit of afterthought actually. So in here we've got PTT. So there's my PTT switch. The mic input, so the mic I'm using now on this iPhone plugs into there and is permanently down there, so I need to buy another one. And also the speakers down there, and I've velcroed the speaker back. It's way back and throws the sound forward into the cabin. So that's the speaker lead that goes all the way back into the boot as well for the rig. And here I've pushed the boat out. I've got a USB lead going all the way back to the rig for cat control. So the idea behind that is when I'm static mobile parked up on HF, so with the other antenna mount in use, I will have a laptop here with my logbook running, and I'll have cat control to the rig. And all sort of mod-con features really, so a comprehensive mobile shack. So laptop will either sit on here or over that side or even on my lap, and yeah, that'd be great. The one adaptation I was thinking of doing, which is I'm a bit late now unless I do something significant at this end with this plug, I bought another rocker switch which goes up and down, a 3-way switch, and I could use that for up and down on the transceiver. So the mic up and down buttons I could simulate with a switch down here, and then instead of having to lean forward, sort of first world problems, but leaning forward to scan the bands like that when I'm parked up, I could just sit here and roll another rocker switch. So that's something I still may do. I've got the switch, but this is all sealed, and it would mean effectively destroying that adapter lead and starting again. So that's the idea anyway. So that's the sharp end, and now for the antennas. Right, so for HF, conveniently, the width of the boot, I've bought and acquired a selection of Ampro whips, which I'll show you now. So here we've got some of the Ampro whips. I've got a 5/8 SO239 adapter, so this sits on the bracket on this side. The coax I bought, as you recall, was already pre-terminated with a 90-degree SO239 socket, so I've bought this adapter. So I could have put a 5/8 up there direct. So I've got a 20-meter Ampro whip here. This one's been tuned. In fact, I think they've all been tuned, these, and tried out. This works on the drive. I haven't used it in anger out in the field. So if you're not familiar with Ampro whips, they've got a 5/8 thread on the bottom, so that goes into there, and handily At that end there's a coil all the way up and different coils for different bands. At that end, which I'll show you in a bit, is another thread which takes this top piece. So this is the whip that you've tuned, and that's held in place with Allen grub screws. So basically attach that to the top, screw it in, it's already been tuned, and attach that to the car, and away you go. So 20 meters. My thanks to Lenny, local amateur. I've got some other whips. I've got a 17 and a 12, and again it's helically wound, and there's different coils at the top, and again tuned, and then add these onto the top, and away you go. I've also got a 40 and an 80 at a local rally, which I've yet to set up on the car. Just haven't had the time, unfortunately. So this is going to be my HF armoury, hopefully. In terms of grounding, I haven't got any. I'm using whatever capacitive coupling I've got on the car already. This is plastic and glass and aluminium, so I couldn't use a mag mount, and hopefully, well, it worked on 20. I've done some tests into Europe on 20, and the SWR is okay on that mount, running down here to the HF side of the rig. So fingers crossed, I might be okay. Lower bands might be more problematic, but we won't know until we try them. So I'll just show you these whips. Right, here we are. I'm trying to keep out the rain. It's a horrible drizzly day. It's just fine rain. So here we've got the top end of the base of 3 whips, 20, 17 and 12. They've all got this sort of standard helically wound affair going on from the base till you get to a coil, and here you can see, so there's the 20 meter coil, so lots more windings. There's 17, a bit smaller, and there's 12. So as you go up in frequency, these get smaller. On the 40 and 80, these are much longer, and obviously very inefficient in terms of HF antennas, but what can you do when you're mobile? So the ends are all threaded. So as I said before, these just screw into there, and effectively away you go. So it's very quick. Obviously monoband, although you probably get one of these to tune, I think on 6. I think I tried that, I can't remember which one it was. But generally monoband, but it's just a case of popping out the car and screwing them on. So here we've got the both antennas on, VHF, UHF, and 20 meters. So I think they go up to about 2 meters long, the HF antennas. You could drive with this on. Obviously people do. It seems strong enough, but yeah, that's the setup outside. So here we are at the sharp end again. I think it's very discreet. I'm quite pleased with this install. Transceiver head unit there, and PTT switch there. The microphone is clipped onto me. Where is it? There. But currently it's attached to the phone. So when this isn't installed, there's nothing up there, just this switch. So if we fire up, we're in the middle of the week at lunchtime, so there's probably nobody on, and I haven't got a microphone plugged in. So 2 meters. No, I'm sure there'd be someone there if I wanted a call. If I tell you what, if I go into a repeater, a local repeater again, so using this switch, then you'll hear the click. I haven't got a mic, so apologies. There we go. So the repeater's working fine. So if we go back to the menu, so we'll go upper band, we've got 70 centimeters now. So I could program some repeaters into there. And if I tempt fate, it's been a bad week on HF this week. If I go down to 20 meters, like I say, it's been really poor. Oh, bit of slow scan TV. Very poor. So there you go, there's an S9 Italian station there, and that's probably about as good as we can get today. I need to go out. The idea is I'm going to park up near the sea. We're about 25 miles from the sea here, and use the HF there without having to set up a big portable setup. So just clip on a whip and away we go. I'll show you something else I tried that didn't work. Right, so what I also tried, I think I mentioned this in the other first video, I tried a Bluetooth sender for transmission. So this was to try and save on leads going to the back of the car, and I also wanted to use the car's entertainment system for the sound for the speaker. Now this it worked, but not very well. So if I show you the box, I'll give you an idea. So you can use it to get sound and to and from, as you can see in that top picture there, to headphones, or in the bottom picture to send it from a device to speakers and so on. So I did plug this into the TS-B2000 in the boot, and it did work, but not very well. There was a significant delay on TX-RX switching, so when I would key up, I'd still be listening to the receive for maybe nearly a second, which was very off-putting. It was fine-ish on FM when you key up and dekey and key up and key. When the audio's lagging behind by a second, it's a bit off-putting, but it wouldn't work on HF SSB. And also the audio through the car, through this device, was clipping. It was very harsh, and although the Kenwood speaker isn't hi-fi quality, it's miles better. So it's a shame. It did work, but not very well. Not usable for transmission and receive purposes with the radio. If you were just sat at home streaming music, you wouldn't know there was a second delay. But keying and dekeying made it quite obvious. I could have tried other devices, but I mean, how many do you buy before you find a good one, if there is one? This didn't work. So it was all wires from the boot to the front, but it's gone really well, and I'm quite happy with what I've got. Just showing you here so although we're on the wrong antenna. So there are things on 40 going on. The lower bands are working, but the higher bands, I don't think there'll be anything on 80 today, it's too early. But the higher bands aren't working very well, so not a day for demoing HF. So yeah, that's what I'm up to so far. I have yet to use HF in anger. I've only tried it here, sat out at the front of the house. I need to get out away from buildings, ideally near the sea, and see how I get on. So it's a continuing story. The VHF, I've been really pleased with simplex repeaters as well, but I've had some really good exploits on simplex. Which is literally just a few presses of a button and away you go. So hopefully you enjoyed that video. Watch this space for more developments and field trials. And if you enjoyed that video, please like and subscribe. It all helps go towards promoting the channel. 7-3.